Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue and I am back for another power review, you guys. Let's just get right into it. Okay, so this episode started off with James Ghost, Mr. St. Patrick, going to visit Silver. Okay, why the fuck is he visiting Silver? Well, he wanted to talk to him about Proctor, about where he was, what's going on with him, because he's worried about Proctor. He does not trust him. We know that he possibly still has the conversations that were recorded by Bailey. Okay, Bailey's laptop. We don't know what he might do with it. He might keep it in order to have some type of weight against them, and I would think that would be the smart thing to do, and it turns out that's exactly what he did. Okay, apparently Proctor lied to James and said, no, I destroyed them. Okay, we all in this together, right? That's what he said, but secretly he was holding that shit in a locker somewhere. And I thought it was a good idea, because at any point in time these two murderous people will try to kill you, and then you can say, but hold up, I have the evidence. You know what I mean? Like you could try to use that in some type of way. You know, like you just never know. I don't think that necessarily means that he's about to try to screw James or Tommy. I feel like if there's a way to get out of this without making any enemies, that's what he's probably going to do. So I feel like James is just being, you know, paranoid, but as he should be. He just got out of jail. Okay, California dreaming. Shit just going haywire. He got to worry about his image now, because he's been on national television telling everybody about how good of a guy he is. But now he needs to get back into the drug business, because Tommy needs help with the Jimenez. Okay, the Jimenez is the brother and the sister, crazy Latino motherfuckers that was in competition with Lobos, who took credit for Lobos being killed. Okay, and Tommy already told them that he had handled all of this, and that in order for them to be back right with him, considering the fact that Toros Locos came and killed Julio, because that's an issue for us. We did this whole deal with y'all and gave y'all all of these sets. Okay, so y'all would leave Julio alone. That was our deal, and y'all killed him anyway just because Ghost stepped out of the door for 5 minutes. Well, guess what? We back in this mug, and we need what we need from y'all, which is all of our corners back and additional corners to make up for what you did to us, and plus your connects on the West Coast. That's what Tommy wanted. Well, they ain't never got back to him, so something is making Tommy feel like we might have to go to war with the Jimenez. Okay, Dre does not want this. Him and Cristobal don't want this. They all are trying to mess over Tommy. They actually have a meeting with the Jimenez, okay, and say that we should make Tommy believe that this shit is going on. Meanwhile, we undermining him, selling the drugs in all of these different clubs that James owns, but is not gonna know about the drugs being sold in his clubs. This is definitely gonna be an issue. How you gonna hide this from Tommy? Dre said he gonna figure it out. Dre need to get popped. I feel like that's the consensus right now, because it's like every time Tommy and James get into a place where they feel like they didn't one up the situation, it's something else going on. Okay, for instance, okay, they had to figure out how they were going to handle Sandoval. Okay, because this episode, Angela, Donovan, and Saxe decided to come up with a plan, especially after Sandoval kind of ran into Saxe on the street, asking him if he was still on his side about going after Donovan, because he knows that Mock probably isn't gonna go for this whole Donovan spiel that they selling. Okay, and Donovan just found out from his daughter that last episode, I forgot to mention that, I'm so very, very sorry, that Sandoval showed up to his apartment not knowing that he had custody of his teenage daughter. So she was there when he showed up and told her not to tell her dad that he was there. That was suspect as fuck to Donovan. So as soon as he gets over there to talk to Saxe and talk to Angela, he's like, this crazy motherfucker's trying to kill me, okay? Like, he showed up to my house, my kid was there. Nah, I'm over it at this point. We know he did it, but the problem is they don't have any evidence to prove this, right? Angela pops out the cell phone, the same cell phone that James got from Sanchez's apartment. They still feel like that's not enough, so guess what they decide to do? They set a trap. Okay, Saxe meets up with Sandoval, you know, kind of scares him, lets him know that Angela is going after him, that she doesn't believe his story, so that he'll go over to Angela's house and try to kill her, since it's so obvious that he's like in the frame of mind to just be popping off federal agents left and right because they just suspect him. Okay, like he's not handling this shit in the same way at all at this this point, right? So he go over to the house, and at first it's a conversation and shit, but Angela peeped the whole time. Matter of fact, she's wired, and Sax and Donovan and Maka in a van downstairs listening to everything that's happening, right? So they talking, and you know, at first she was trying to do some small talking. He was like, look, bitch, I know, okay? I know, all right? And all I know is if I'm going down, I'm taking you down with me because you dirty. And she like, what are you talking about? Okay, I haven't done anything wrong. And she has, but she hasn't. I mean, whatever she's done is nothing in comparison to what you've done. Okay, going around killing people. So just when he decides it's time to kill her, okay, she pulls out her gun, shoots him in the shoulder, and she pulls the mic out because he's talking about how dirty she is, and she don't want nobody to hear that. So she cut it off, and she was like, okay, you don't have to get the chair for this, okay? Just say you're a witness. Don't say you're a murderer. Say you're a witness. And when you say you're a witness, that means that he can use all of the information he's gained working for Lobos and the whole situation with James and all of that. He can use all of that against them, okay? And she knew this. Angela knew this shit, right? So she goes to Silver and tells Silver, and then Silver tells James. So now James tells Tommy, and they sit down with Proctor, and now we know that we got a situation and whether we got to get rid of Mike Sandoval because he's about to blow the whistle on anything he knows about us considering Lobos. Even though they don't know exactly what he might know, we can't chance this shit, right? So Tommy get on the phone with Teresi. Okay, all right, he's really like grappling with this shit, okay, because when he went and talked to his mom, he went and talked to Kate, she says that he left them. Okay, he didn't want you. At first she denied it, but then when he came back and asked her the second time and it almost fucked up her whole, you know, her whole house, then she's like, oh, he didn't want you. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know Teresi is not telling that same story. He said that's something that he agreed to, but he wanted to be in the boy's life or whatever. But she was lying about it. So he went to Teresi's old lady, Connie's house, looked through a book and found a picture of him and dude outside their old house and took that to Kate's house, and that's what made Kate had to tell the truth about it, right? So all of that has happened, and he calls on Teresi because how are we gonna get Sandoval killed in a federal prison? You can't sneak back in there, Ghost. We gotta figure this out. He called Teresi, and Teresi don't ask no questions. He just said, it's done. Your family is done. He felt touched, okay? We all felt touched. Tommy has never had anybody care for him in that way, especially any men in his life, except for Ghost. So I'm actually starting to feel optimistic about the relationship between Teresi and Tommy, like for real. I like it, you know what I'm saying? So absolutely, somebody dressed as a nurse goes into the room where Sandoval is getting dressed and raises his neck real fast, like it must have been his aorta or some main artery, bleeds out like that, and he's dead. And Sax and Donovan and Mock, I don't know if Donovan was there, but Mock was definitely there, and Angela was there, you know, at the scene of the crime when he's dead on the floor. And they saying, you know, oh, damn, man, everything he knew goes with him, you know? And they walk out and Angela stays behind and she's like, that was for Greg, puto. She didn't say the puto part, but, you know, you get my drift, okay? Like, yo, I mean, it was definitely a, I used to like her moment, okay? I definitely was like, okay, girl. Okay. I was feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I was really feeling it. Tasha's daughter, Raina, is really trying to go to boarding school, okay? This stuff going on with her parents, going on with her brother, him bruising up her arm, all of this is too much for her. She wants to go to a boarding school, okay? So she asked Tasha, and of course, you know, eventually James finds out about this, about her wanting to go to the boarding school. Switch over to Tyreek, who's still being a little badass, okay, for no goddamn reason, all right? And he's robbing with that dude Brains, who he got hooked up with through Kanan, okay? Brains and some other dude, okay? He goes and knocks on this lady's door, baseball, you know, cap on, going to the good school, selling chocolate for our team, ma'am. You want to help out? You know, my forwards in my bag was not baseball, y'all. Swim team. I'm sorry, y'all. The swim team. He was on the swim team. Okay, and the lady invites him in to get money to help out, and here come these two guys running in her house with masks and guns, and Tariq plays as if, you know, he's just an innocent bystander, and the dude punches him and shit like that. He falls to the ground. They rush the lady upstairs to get whatever is out of her safe, and Tariq is supposed to leave. Brains goes upstairs to, you know, meet with the other dude and the lady, but Tariq is hearing her scream, you know, and not just, I can't believe this is happening screaming, like something is happening at this moment to me screaming. And he goes up the stairs and sees the other guy like taking her shirt off like he was about to rape her. And he screamed, "Brains, tell him stop." When he did that, they had to kill her because now she heard his street name. Okay, and now you know that his little young ass was involved in it, okay? So they killed the lady. And he just ran out. I mean, jetted, scared out his fucking mind, I guess. Now you scared. Now you have a conscience, you little narcissistic psychopath. Now you want to have emotions. Now you feel like you're learning, you know, your lesson and shit. I'm like, bruh, now he wants to go to the boarding school too. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot. I cannot. Okay. Y'all look. Anyway, when he ran home, his daddy was sitting there with Councilman Tate. All right, Lorenz Tate. That day, they had went on a walk in the hood, okay, in Harlem, I believe. I think that's, I don't know why I keep messing up in my head which borough it is that James is from and that Tate is the councilman for, but I'm just gonna say Harlem for right now. And they want to do like a revitalization with ownership of businesses from people that live in that neighborhood, so that it won't be gentrified and people can't just come in and take the shit and up the prices, so that the people that have been living there has to leave because they can't afford to live there anymore, which is what they, you know, generally do. And so he wants to do something where it's the black people or the Latino people, whoever lives in the neighborhood, their businesses that are striving. And I think that's a brilliant idea. And James wants to help. And Dre is also there. And James didn't know that Dre was going to be there. So he's a little pissed about him not giving him the heads up. But they just go along with the tour because it's all about the I help revitalize the neighborhood and get some kids off the street gag that James has going on. And the main thing that Tate feels that they need to do is get the drug dealers out of the neighborhood. So James notices that there are Toros Locos on all of these corners that were originally for Tommy and for James's little set, I guess. This is when Dre is like, yeah, man, that nigga Tommy, man, like he's been having problems, man. People ain't listening to him, man. He been acting too crazy. Don't nobody want a war and all of this shit. And so that's when he decided he was going to double cross them and meet up with the Jimenez. So Dre could set it up so that he could take Tommy's place. So that's his whole thing. He wants to be the biggest drug dealer in New York City. He wants to be Ghost now. So his thing is to get in with the Jimenez and probably, you know, kill Tommy and Ghost and get the clubs and get the drugs and be selling that shit. That's what Dre wants to do. Dre, I don't know if you know who you fucking with. I really don't know if you know who you fucking with. And when they find out that you done joined with all of the rest of the, you know, the niggas, the Toros Locos dude, and Cristobal and some of the other drug dealers, as soon as they find out that you fucking over them like that, it's gonna be an issue. And I can't wait to see it. Ooh. Anyway, you guys, that was basically everything that happened on this episode of Power. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next one.
On my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good, touch my swag,